Okay, so my social problem is fast food drive-throughs. The extent of the social problem is for everyone. So, as an employee, you're under a lot of stress to get the food or beverage, whatever the item may be, out to the drive-through faster because your establishment requires that. Also, the customers get much more angry when they have to wait longer. People become less impersonal when they're in the drive-through rather than when they're at the counter talking to people. People become lazy in the sense they're not walking as much. Um, and the biggest thing is while all these cars are sitting and idling in the drive-through, it's not good for the ecosystem. I know cars have gotten better with less emissions, with electronic cars and all that, but still, the amount of drive-throughs that are in the entire country, it's ridiculous. So my argument is that it not only impacts people and their weight and their attitudes because they're more frustrated being in a hurry, but it also with not walking as much, especially because they're eating too much junk food, and then the emissions from the cars. My mechanisms for dealing with this will be formal control through removing all drive-throughs throughout the country. Now, this is only going to be for places that have a full-size establishment. So say they have a lobby, then they have to remove their drive-through because there are plenty of standalone businesses like Frugal's in Puyallup and Port Angeles is only a drive-through, or plenty coffee stands are only drive-throughs. However, the caveat to that is that if too many establishments like McDonald's, Burger King, Dairy Queen, all those start creating only drive-through businesses, then all drive-throughs will have to be eliminated at that point. I will frame this, my moral panic, in a sense, kind of like the movie WALL-E, where everybody show imagery of everybody lying on floating platforms because they've all gotten too fat to be able to walk, and our planet no longer being able to be sustain or life sustainable. I know I won't make it as to the extent of WALL-E, but somewhere along those lines, because I feel that that movie actually encompasses my moral panic very well. So yeah, that is my moral panic. Now, in regards to Jenkins and the paradox, my response is change the tone. So they state the strangers and all that, instead of displaying the offenders in their prison outfits and being arrested, display images of the closest family members. So his paradox is how, it's actually, let me pull it up real quick, bear with me one moment. Slow internet. Okay, so although much evidence suggests that abuse is most likely to occur in the domestic or neighborhood setting with family and neighbors as culprits, I think that if we change the tone of the moral panic, and instead of, again, showing all those people on the media and in the newspapers in their prison jumpsuits, and the arrests of all of them and everything, and we show imagery of family members and things like that, it would be better. And I don't know why this is the only thing I could think of, so don't hate me for it. But people that I work with have lately been telling me that they don't like Joe Biden because he's a perv, and there's imagery of him like being too close to little girls and everything. That's the type of imagery I'm saying. Not necessarily Joe Biden, but, a family member being a little too close to a little girl or a little boy. This is the type of rhetoric that should be used for changing the paradox or dealing with that. Second, use the imagery as a backing of statistics and stories of more children being harmed by family or family friends rather than strangers. So next to the imagery, use the statistics that your child is more likely to be harmed by a close family friend or a neighbor, somebody they know, rather than a complete stranger. So instead of, this stranger danger thing, we should change the terminology. Don't know to what, but again, changing the tone and changing the rhetoric to, family and friends are going to be the culprits rather than strangers. That is how I would address the paradox. And that's it.